Oh Lord, pull up in that '04, pedal to the metal, says she wanna hit the flow more.
Okay. With the Atlanta Hawks losing the NBA Eastern Conference Finals to the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games, this is a message for everybody, but particularly for Hawks fans, Hawks players and team executives. I know you're watching. Thanks a lot. Okay. Or for anybody who doesn't want anybody that I just named to be embarrassed. Here is my warning to all of you. Don't become these people.
Halfway at second and short. Pena in a jam. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory.
I'll get back to that. Okay. And in the meantime, all the folks I just named, you know, the Hawks executives and players and fans and the people who don't want to see them look silly in the future. I mean, I'll give all you guys till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock today. Actually, I'm going to be kind. I did say to the end of the week. Actually, see, Bastille Day. I mean, that's Independence Day in France. That is July the 14th. I'll give you until then. Actually, end of the month. All right. And from now until then, you are allowed to say, when it comes to Atlanta Hawks, you're allowed to say, well, at least they made it this far. Or nobody expected them to get this far. Yeah, you can say it up until then, but after that, you're not allowed to say it anymore. All right. And I know this was a miracle year, a wonderful year, an enjoyable year for a team that was very fun to watch. You know, there were 6 games under 500 when Nate McMillan replaced Lloyd Pierce on March the 1st. And then they just started to zoom after that. You know, despite all the injuries they had. They had as many significant injuries on their team as anybody in the National Basketball Association. All right. They had mostly Trae Young. And this 22-year-old musician out there, magician, he was just doing all these great things with his with shooting and passing and the charisma, and it was just phenomenal to see. And then they get into the playoffs and they get on this roll. The New York Knicks, here are the Hawks. They're the number 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. The New York Knicks are the number 4 seed, and they beat them in 5 games. Including 2 games at Big and Bad Madison Square Garden. Those Atlanta Hawks. And that wasn't good. They played the number 1 seed after that. You remember that. Philadelphia 76ers. They get past them. Joel Embiid's a little, gimpy. But, I mean, they got past them. And get this. That's a tough place to play, Philadelphia. But they won 3 games there. All right? So after all of that, then they go in and they play the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. I mean, this dude won 2 consecutive MVP awards in the NBA, and this past season he finished in the top 5. He's pretty good. All right, he gets injured so he's out for like 2.5 games in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals against the Hawks. So they got that going for them. And think about this entire year. In this entire postseason, Gallinari pointed this out. He said this was a rare year. We had all these significant injuries across the NBA in the postseason. These huge stars were out. Okay, it was right there for the Hawks. Yeah, and I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah, I know. The Hawks had injuries too. Yeah, the Hawks had some injuries. I mean, DeAndre Hunter during the regular season was the second best player on the team next to Trae Young rather. And he was out for a long stretch of time, DeAndre Hunter. Came back and played in the New York Knicks series, but he couldn't play after that. So he was gone. Okay, Bogdanovich for the Hawks. He played the entire playoffs with like a bad knee. And you all know what happened in Game 3 near the end of the third quarter when the great Trae Young, his right heel gets bruised, and he was never the same after that. Didn't play hardly at all. He did play the rest of that game, didn't do much. And then Game 4 he was out, and Game 5 out, comes back in Game 6. So I know all that. But here's what I know even more so than all that. And that is that the Hawks were tied in this best of 7 series in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Milwaukee Bucks 2-2. Okay? Despite everything. I know that. I know that the Greek Freak would not play the rest of the series. I know that. I know they were 2 victories away, the Hawks, from reaching the NBA Finals. I know that. And I also know that when it came to Game 5 in Milwaukee, the Hawks were total no-shows. I mean, they looked like they didn't even want to be there. No energy, no nothing. And here's something else I know. Game 6, okay, they're down 3-2. A must-win victory Saturday night. Yeah, right here in State Farm Arena. Damn people with I believe t-shirts. You know, all that stuff. All psyched. The moment was too big for the Hawks. I mean, even Trae Young played. He tried to play. Okay, I'm not faulting him, but he tried to play. He couldn't play. It was too big. Yeah, I mean, outside of Cam Reddish and a little bit of Bogdanovich, you know, there were no, you know, even Lou Williams, you know, the guy that played in more playoff games than anybody on the squad. You know, he's like the old timer. Even he was a no-show. I know he only played 15 minutes, but still, 4 points, 1 assist. I mean, in other words, you look at all of this, you know, the injuries for all these other teams, no Greek Freak, 2 victories away. I'm just hearing the ghost of the great Dennis Green, NFL former coach Dennis Green. He was talking about his Arizona Cardinals, but you know what? He was also talking about the Atlanta Hawks.
Against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears? Would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a 3rd game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the 3rd game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
They let them off the hook. Just like another team I know from Atlanta. The 1991 Atlanta Braves. Yeah, I said it. 30 years ago, Atlanta Braves, everybody made a big deal. Oh, they were worst to first. Yeah, they went from worst to first. And I know, see if this sounds familiar. Okay? So they get hot down the stretch of the season. Okay, then they knock off the big bad Dodgers to win the division. Then they get to the playoffs, you know, and they're playing, the Pittsburgh Pirates of Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla, expected to destroy them. They get past them. I mean, this was their version of the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. They get past them. Then they get in the World Series, you know, those Atlanta Braves, you know, not expected to be there. And then they play this great, everybody talks about the great Game 7. The great Game 7 between the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. The scoreless tie. It was scoreless tie until the 10th inning. And at the top of this video, you saw what happened. Okay, the Braves didn't win. The Twins won. Everybody talk about, oh, what a great Game 7. Yeah, you mean the one that the Braves didn't win? Yeah, 91, Minnesota Twins. Braves didn't win that. The Twins won it. And by the way, the Twins were also a worse the first team. So you're going to be worse the first, you might as well get in there and win it. All right, but anyway, the Game 7 was not the disturbing game. The game that was disturbing, if you are a Braves fan, was Game 6, the day before in Minnesota. Because in that game, they were down 3-2 and going into the 7th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Braves. They could only score once. But, okay, I'll give them that. They tied the game, 3-3, going into the bottom of the 11th inning. You know, Minnesota, Game 6. And by the way, if they win Game 6, the Braves, you don't have to worry about that Game 7. Because they're world champions. All right. But then we get to the bottom of the 11th inning. And this happened. Yeah. But at least it got there. I mean, nobody expected the Braves to get there. Hey, forget the fact that nobody expected the Twins to get there anyway. And the Twins just said, well, since we're here, we might as well win it. But anyway, I digress. So from that point on, that set the foundation for those Braves, okay, to win 14 consecutive division titles, an all-time record, okay? one world championship. One world championship, despite having 3 Hall of Fame pitchers, Hall of Fame third baseman and Chipper Jones, Hall of Fame general manager and John Schuerholz, Hall of Fame manager and Bobby Cox. One world championship in 1995 during a strikes year, by the way. Okay? So here's what I'm saying. Okay? Well, I'll tell you what they were saying back in 1991 with the Braves. It's like, well, at least they got, at least they got, nobody expected to get. What I'm telling you all out there, and I'm talking specifically to Atlanta Hawks fans, the Atlanta Hawks players, Atlanta Hawks executives. I know you're watching. I'm talking to the people that support them and don't want to see them just look goofy. What I'm saying to all of you all is you don't want to go down in history like those Braves, okay? Because those Braves went from overachievers to underachievers to chokers.
This is my falsetto wicked potion with the slow pour. This is my addiction, make me wanna go for more. Pale